On October 3rd through October 5th, the entire debate world comes together for 3 nights, 1 platform, 1 spectacle. This is not just another debate event. This is the grandest stage of them all. Debate Mania is the premier event in the debate community, the Super Bowl of intellect, the WrestleMania of words. The brightest minds, the fiercest rivalries, the biggest stakes. Here, champions are made, legacies are written, and only the sharpest minds survive. Debate Mania is the grandest stage of intellect. 2 voices, 2 visions, 1 destiny. For generations, the fight for black liberation has taken many forms. But at Debate Mania, the battle is not fought with fists. It is fought with ideas. In one corner, the pseudo-Hunter Heru conscious, a fearless atheist, a relentless skeptic. He believes Pan-Africanism is an outdated ideology, and at Debate Mania, she plans to prove it. But standing in his way is the champion, the defender of the people, the voice of pride, power, and Pan-African unity. Super Pan-Man, the Pan-African atheist. 2 giants of thought, 2 unstoppable forces, 1 collision that will shake the foundations of the Versus series. This is more than a debate. This is the main event. This is Debate Mania. Only on Paradigm Shift TV 314. Be there for this historic 3-night event.
Yes, sir. All right, it's time to get down to business, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We got the brother back. We got the infamous, the sensational, the imperial, the grand, and the irrefutable one known as I Son. I Son is here in the mix. What's good, everyone? It's Classic Craig. I'm back with you with another banger, kabanga. And the brother I Son is here to represent the power of I. So what's good, everyone? Come on in. And the brother I Son have something very important to talk about. He has a rebuttal. A video was made about him, and he's ready to actually get in and break it all down. Now, apologies for how long it took. We understand people wanted to see Duran, aka I Son. Apologies for that. That was my fault. But it is what it is. The brother's here now. So let's get it started. Yo, I Son, what you got, Chief? How you doing today, brother? How we doing?
Good, brother. Again, always a pleasure, to rap with you, my man, Mr. Classic. Before I start anything, I always like to say all praises are due to I, for that is my guide, my power, my teacher, my all, my everything. Without I, Duran is nothing. Classic, I was going to say, let's try to give it a couple minutes. Everybody hit your post to tell people, share this video. This video is going to be super controversial. Not only am I going to respond to a gentleman by the name of BK Apologist, but I'm also going to bring something up which I was alluding to when I was reading it. So I had me write this part first, and then I'll go into what BK wrote. I will let you know now, is a little lengthy. So just bear with me. The greatest type of food is spiritual food.
Right.
So my job today is to try to feed you. There are going to be a lot of people upset about what I'm about to say. But my job is not to cater to your misunderstandings of truth.
Right.
My job is to give it to you the way it is presented to myself, and then I stand on that. So, like I said, let's build a little more in here. Again, the brother Classic hit me last week. I appreciate for everyone that I sent out letting you know that we couldn't make it. I appreciate the return response texts. that really made me feel warm inside to know that, your intentions were truly to be there. And this is a long time coming. I didn't just wake up feeling like this. So, my journey's been for 25 years when my life turned over. And when I started in this walk to follow I, which I'll bring up a little bit today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But Mr. Irrefutable, before we really dig in, I have the question I would have to ask you.
Okay? Yes, sir.
Now, there was a little controversy, right? With certain things that was done, right? Like for example, your picture being used and things you did not like, And I told you there's certain things I can do and that I can't do, because I'm not the one who makes, the flyers or thumbnails or anything like that. But
Yes.
I have no bias towards BK, right? The apologist. And of course, you have no bias either. It's all informational based. It's not personal. There's no slander. But how do you feel just about with all of that, your picture being used and everything? Like, how do you feel about that?
Sure, brother. I'm glad you brought that up. It actually slipped my mind because I'm more about the mission than the placating.
Right.
What the brother is talking about is that I did not know someone was going to do a rebuttal to myself, which is fine. I look forward to that. But then when you take my picture or my likeness without talking me and then you alter it some, not that it is something horrible, but it's the fact that you use something that was mine. So when it was my turn to come back and respond to that person, I didn't use a picture. I was just using their name as who I was who I was discussing with. They didn't even want to put that on the flyer, which I saw that to be kind of odd because I'm one that believes in fairness. If you're going to let somebody use my likeness without contacting me, then let's not find some point where you're going to show favoritism and then keep their information. Keep them coddled. You should have just said, no, you can't use his information and he can't use your information. But like I said, that's water under the bridge now because after I'm done tonight, I don't think he's going to want to come back and talk about anything.
Oh man. So you don't think he would ever have a conversation with you after you're done tonight?
I think we'll have a conversation, but it will be very hard to refute what I'm speaking about.
Oh man.
Because he misrepresented what myself was talking about. And he lied to the people. So I took timestamps, which I'll bring them up when I get to that part of the presentation and show you where he said something. He even said, he hopes to see me respond to what he said. And I'm a respectful person, so I can talk to anyone. I don't have to berate you or be disrespectful. Right. That's not my character. So if you're willing to talk and want to talk to me about it, but I want you to be genuine. I want you to be honest. I want you to be when we're talking about these texts and they say what they say. And then the one thing I don't want is I don't want people that can't read in between the texts. They have to understand these texts were written by humans.
Mm-hmm.
The creator, I didn't write the text. So these texts, they're fallible. These people, and I'll show you this. And in my presentation, I'm also calling out people that, not individuals, anybody. That if they want to have a conversation about this, I can disprove a lot of this stuff. Or you're misunderstanding a lot of this stuff. But either way, we're going to get down to business tonight. That's for sure.
Yes, sir. I got to do this before we start.
Hold on one second. Let me just remember that.
Pretty much had to do that, man. Let everybody know that it is going down tonight with the Irrefutable One, a.k.a. Teflon Duran, a.k.a. I Son. So it's going down tonight, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. You know what I'm saying? Because, I just got to say this, man. I Son got a lot up his sleeve tonight. A lot of truth is going to be revealed. And I just got to say.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
To anyone
Shame.
that thinks
Shame.
they got it for I Son.
Shame.
You're going to go to school. But brother I son, when you're ready, brother, let's dive in.
Okay, I'm getting ready to share it. Again, my intentions is not to hurt people for what I'm about to say. But again, the truth has to be told. And I don't want you to tune out because I know where I'm going to lose a lot of people at. I don't want you to tune out. I want you to stay there because anything I say, I'm going to back it up. I'm going to use the Bible doing it, but I'm going to back it up to show you where the error's been and where the confusion and conflation is in this.
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'm going to share this.
Oh, man, I son. What up, ladies and gentlemen? I son left. Don't know what's going on. Let me see what's going on with the brother. I hope he come back pretty soon. Oh, man, he just dipped out. Jeez. I son just disappeared, boy. So hold on right quick, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pretty sure the brother will be back. There he is right here.
Yeah, I went to go share you. But hold on.
You're out.
I'm good.
Hold on right quick. Hold on.
I want to share the screen. Okay.
Oh, yeah. You got to share the screen because you got out the stream.
Yeah. I went to go share it and it dropped on me.
That was wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ready for it now?
You should be able to see it.
Yes, sir. I see it right here.
All right. Again, before we get started, you need to share the link, please.
Oh, you want the link shared?
Yeah, share the link in the thing also. I'm just asking people to share the link that they had to send it on.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it's all on you, Chief.
Sure.
Drop the knowledge.
Sure. I must admit, was very shocked. It was a Christian who decided, considering Jesus never knew what a Christian was. This isn't a shot. This is the truth. Okay. All right. My favorite thing would be saying, grab some pita chips and hummus because Ison is going to take his time and break these lies and liars down. Again, some of this will hurt. Let me make this clear. There is no God concept theology on this planet that can put a stop to I's teachings. Gods are mortals and I is immortal. I created gods and allowed them to exist for a time and a season. The genealogy in the Bible from Jesus to Adam dates back 4,000 years, and from Jesus' death until today is 2,025 years, totaling 6,025 years. The oldest fossil is 3.5 billion years old, which means your God existence is only 6,025 years old. BK, there's a verse that says, forgive them, Father, for what they know not. Forgive them, Father, for what they know not what they are doing. You believe in your heart and soul you're doing what is right by refuting I, son. Unfortunately, my brother, you are following Satan, have become one of his devils sent to try to stop my mission. Listen to how they have tricked you. Abraham was told, Genesis 17:6, I will make you very fruitful. I will make nations of you, and kings will come from you. Abraham was promised nations with an S, and the land, and then Israel came along saying they are the chosen nation that will receive Christ and salvation. Believing in lying Rebecca is why you are confounded in my speech. This is why you are called a modified seed. To everyone who believes in her life, you will be conflicted by what you're about to hear. Jesus was not the Christ, but the Antichrist. Bear with me. The gospel came around 50 years after the death of Jesus. They created a narrative so that Jesus would appear to be the Christ to get the people to follow them by using religion. This is why they changed the calendars. The Bible used BC, which stands for before Christ. After Jesus was born, the powers to be switched it to AD, meaning Anno Dominion, which means in the year of our Lord. Now, how is it that they knew exactly when the Lord would come? Matthew 24:36. But about the day or hour, no one knows, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father. These early Christians have you believing in a white man's Jesus, aka the Antichrist. If you continue to follow this ideology, you will regret your choice. The white Jesus writers never wanted you to be liberated from their lies. Roman Catholic, the home of the Pope, who calls himself the Father, is the head of Christianity. The Pope knows the truth about Jesus 2,000 years ago. Where did the name Christian come from? From a people in Antioch, Turkey. Have you ever been to Antioch? Jerusalem. Walked the cobblestone streets of Cairo, Egypt, visit the home of Jesus, stood on the pyramids, driven through Nazareth, been baptized in the Jordan River. While you're talking Jesus, I Son is living it. All of these places I Son have visited and done. All praises are due to I. Now let's get down to I's business. Matthew 15:24. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Here's where Jesus, whom you claim to be holy and perfect, contradicts himself just 4 verses later. Matthew 15:28. Then Jesus answered and said unto her, Woman, great is thy faith, but it unto thee even as thou wilt. And her daughter was made whole from that very hour. This is hypocrisy. It is considered a sin, seen as a form of dishonesty or betrayal. Numbers 23:19. Creator is not a man that he should lie, or a son of man that he should change his mind. Does he speak and not act? Does he promise and not fulfill? This verse is about Jesus. Did he lie when he came to her who is not from the house of Israel? Is he not called the Son of Man? Did he make a promise to the house of Israel when he told them he was only sent to them, then not fulfill his promise? This also proves Jesus is not the creator, for those of you who believe in him as the God or the creator of all. BK, you seemed not to understand why a female cannot get pregnant without the male sperm seed. Guess they were doing in vitro back then. The very first child born in the Bible was Cain. How was he conceived? By Adam and Eve. And for 4,000 years after Cain to Jesus, every single child came from a male having intercourse with a female. Isaiah gives a prophecy that a virgin, Alma, which means Alma in Hebrew, will give birth. In the 13th century is when the word virgin began to be used in sexual context. 1,300 years after Mary and Jesus' virgin birth scandal. During the time of Mary, the word Alma, a Hebrew word that would have taken precedence over the word virgin. The definition of Alma is a young woman or maiden, a female of marital age. This agrees with the Greek word Virgo, which means virgin, maiden, or young woman. You have Unitarians, Ebionites, and some liberal mainline Protestants, Orthodox Jews, and a host of other beliefs that do not believe in the virgin's birth scandal. Matthew 12:25. Knowing their thoughts, Jesus said to them, every kingdom divided against itself will be laid waste, and every city or household divided against itself will not stand. This is why Christianity takes such a big hit. Your Christian brothers and sisters cannot agree on this lie. You must use the application of reasoning when dealing with the impossible. For those of you who are wise and are tired of hearing that nonsense that God can do whatever he wants, a logical person says if male and female were told to be fruitful and multiply, then why would the creator interfere? The gig is up. If this stops, hold on 1 second. because this will freeze and I'll have to go back out and come right back in on it because there's so much stuff on here. Okay, there we go.
Okay. Keep going, Chief. Keep going.
Yes, sir. Luke 1, verse 30. And the angel said to her, "Don't be afraid, Mary, for you have found favor with God. And behold, you will conceive in your womb and bear a son." Genesis 17:17. Then Abraham fell on his face, laughed, and said in his heart, "Shall a child be born unto him that is 100 years old? And shall Sarah that is 90 years old bear?" Now, one is being spoken to by an angel, and the other was being spoken to by the Creator, Abraham. Now, if Mary is having a child from the Creator, why would the Creator send an angel to her? But when the promised seed is being fulfilled through Abraham, the Creator goes to Abraham. The Creator does everything in order. The Creator did not appear to Mary because this was a fabricated story. There would be no confusion if the Creator had come to Mary instead of this mysterious angel. Satan also has angels that work for him. Matthew 25, verse 41. Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand, "Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels." That angel that visited Mary was Satan's angel. This is why Jesus never had the power over Satan to be an everlasting savior. John 14:30. Hereafter I will not talk much with you, for the prince of this world cometh and have nothing in me. The prince of this world in the scriptures is Satan, and Jesus must leave earth because Satan still had time to rule. This is what was meant earlier when I said Jesus was the Antichrist, because the Savior will come at the end when Satan's time is up, and he will be cast into the lake of fire. Satan is off the scene now, but his ways are still lingering in the people. We have the power today to defeat the satanic mindset within us, but we must first stop sinning and stop endorsing these lies. If you did not know, Satan is God and his angels are gods. Listen up. The word God is not a name, it is a title. The only time a title is capitalized is when a name precedes it. So when you hear this nonsense about a big G and a little g, it is made up, is what I should say. Not one of your scriptures using the title God or Lord is followed by a name. Therefore, every time God is used, it should be lowercase because it does not come before a name. This is why when Jesus came, he never gave them a name. He said, "Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name." How come he did not say Yahweh, Jehovah, Elohim, Allah? Because none of them are the correct name. Psalms 23 says, "The battle is for my namesake." Again, when the Savior comes like Moses, he will have a name, and this must be said. Stop lying. "I am that I am" does not mean Yahweh or YHWH. He brings the name so that the people will know how to address the Creator. If you just said God or Lord, there are many gods and many lords. There is only one name we are to call: I. Mark 8:20-28. When Jesus arrived on the other side in the region of the Gadarenes, he was met by two demon-possessed men coming from the tombs. They were so violent that no one could pass that way. "What do you want from us, Son of God?" they shouted. "Have you come here to torture us before the appointed time?" The devils were surprised Jesus was here too early to condemn them. How is it that the devils knew Jesus was the Antichrist? You do not know it. Jesus knew he could not defeat Satan, so he had to prepare his death. Christians, stop claiming you are saved. Jesus couldn't save his own life. You make a grave mistake to believe that big lie. No one can save your life. You must earn it. This theory, do what thou wilt, is the prescription for eternal death. In Matthew 26:39, Jesus tried to save his own life by asking that this cup of death be passed from him. Paul called Jesus a man born out of due time or untimely born. This is why they lied. This is why they lied about the second coming. It would have been impossible to rewrite the Torah because the Orthodox Jews were not having it. So they had to write a pseudo New Testament. They needed to create Jesus' second coming as the Son of Man. They tried to use the prophecy of Daniel. Daniel 7:13. Saw in the night vision, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancients of Days, and they brought him near before him. And there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that shall not be destroyed. Listen to what is written. It says, behold, one like the Son of Man. We all agree that Jesus was called the Son of Man. Then it says this one came in the clouds. Is that not how they told you Jesus would come back in the pseudo New Testament? Remember, I told you, meaning myself, told you Jesus came too soon. And it is said this one comes in the Ancient of Days, which means the last days when Satan would be off the scene. Then it said he, Spirit of Truth, was given dominion, which is AD, Anno Dominion, is the day of power, dominion, the day of dominion, which means power. This is another man at the end of time who is the Savior / Christ. He will have everlasting dominion. This is not Jesus. Wake up. They have been lying to you, brothers and sisters. The scripture proves Jesus was the Antichrist and not the one who was coming. BK made a statement on a show a couple of years ago. This is not verbatim. He stated his mission is to stop Christians from leaving the faith. When you have people who think like this, it is considered a cultish mentality. Stay far away from that type of mindset. My brother, you only have idols and titles, BK. If you continue to teach this false doctrine, you are a shepherd for the devil, and anyone who chooses to follow him, do as you will. Let's see his so-called rebuttals to my letter now. At timestamp 1437, BK says Emmanuel is not a name. It is a title. It clearly says his name would be called Emmanuel. Matthew 1:23. Behold, a virgin shall be with child, and she shall bring forth a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel, which being interpreted as God with us. BK blatantly lied to say Jesus was never called. BK blatantly lied to you. Jesus was never called Emmanuel. There are so many inconsistencies in this Bible. Isaiah 7:14, a prophecy that was never not fulfilled. And there are many more lies and inconsistencies in the Bible. And if anyone would like to challenge this, then we can set a date. Deuteronomy 18:22. When a prophet speaks in the name of the Lord, and the message does not come to pass or come true, that is a message that the Lord has not spoken. The prophet has spoken presumptuously. Do not be afraid of him. One second. If the prophecy is not completed, he is a false prophet, aka Antichrist in Jesus' case, because they claimed him to be more than a prophet. When did Jesus ever have a government on his shoulders? Isaiah 9:6 states that a son will be born and a government will be on his shoulders. Before you get the moving chess pieces around on the chessboard, it says born, so he cannot come from the clouds. In which of Jesus' 33 years did he ever have a government on his shoulders? Again, if this is not fulfilled, then he is the Antichrist. We have already proven he is not the man in the cloud with everlasting dominion. Now, maybe you are starting to get the definition of a genetically modified seed. Where there is no seed, you must engineer the story to do what you want for your purpose. This is why the true seed can expose the modified seedless. Look at another statement Jesus proclaimed that never came true. John 12:32. And when I am lifted up from earth, will draw everyone to myself. It is 2025 years later, and the world is more divided over Jesus now than ever. If this were the case, apologists would not be needed. These people are not apologists, they are propagandists. 1 Corinthians 14:33, for the Creator is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints. And here's another timestamp from my letter that he captured. Timestamp 2942 on his. He's at this point, BK has no earthly idea what is being said. He claims the second Adam is Jesus. John 16 speaks of a man who has the spirit of truth. Unfortunately, BK cannot comprehend what is being said because he has already been indoctrinated to believe it is not a man, but a spirit. Jesus says 6 times that when he comes, he will guide you. But BK is telling the people that the spirit of truth is not a man. Proof. Joel 2:28, and it shall come to pass afterwards that I will pour out my spirit on all flesh. A man will be sent having the spirit of truth within him. That is the Creator's gift to the world. The reason we are under this curse now is because the spirit of a lie, which was in the form of a kind of man known as mankind. Do you not lie and also tell the truth? So therefore, as a human, you carry both spirits within you. This is what Jesus meant by you must pick up your own cross. It is a symbol of your upright nature and your fallen state. You must remove the horizontal part of the cross from the lower side of you. It covers the upright nature. We must break the cross and not be dual beings. Some frequencies are higher in some humans than others, meaning you are more prone to be honest or you're more prone to lie. But it is a war you must fight within yourself. Jesus said it to a degree. Luke 17:21. For behold, the kingdom of God is within you. Listeners who believe in God, if you feel a conviction, then my purpose is being fulfilled. This should have said, for behold, the kingdom of I. Listen well. You don't say me, myself, and God. We say me, myself, and I. I is the Creator who created everything, even gods. They have made you to think the Creator was outside of you, but I has always been within you. BK used 1 Corinthians 15:20 and 22. But Christ has indeed been raised from the dead, the first fruits of those who have fallen asleep. 21. For since death came through a man, the resurrection of the dead comes also through a man. For as in Adam all shall die, so in Christ all will be made alive. If this were true, and you said Christ came, then we would have been spiritually alive now. This statement means that we would have started a new Genesis 2025 years ago, and the world would be rid of sin. We have more zombies on the streets due to fentanyl and dope. In fact, if Jesus came back today, he would not know what to do with this world because he is 2,000 years removed from the current state of the world. He would not know what to do. What happens to a mother if her child never has a child? The bloodline dies. And unfortunately, Christians and Hebrew Israelites, your last hope, was ordered to death by their very own people. Matthew 20, verse 23. You will indeed drink my cup, Jesus said, but to sit at my right or my left, not mine to grant. These seats belong to those whom my Father has prepared them. See, Jesus knew he was not the end of his bloodline. Jesus knew that he was the end of his bloodline, and it was not for him to have the 2 sons. But look at what he said to her. she will indeed drink from his cup, because he knew she would die just like he had to die. No flesh lives forever. You who believe God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Ghost, that is blasphemy. Now, BK made a statement comparing me to Nature Boy and Polite. Hopefully you meant it in a way of being charismatic. For the record, one is in jail as a known pedophile and the other is a polygamist and bisexual. I Son is none of that. The fact that you said you must make a preemptive strike tells myself you see a serious threat in my mouth and mind that causes a disturbance to this hell my people are living in. We would both agree only that the spirit of truth could have revealed that to you. So in that instance, you are right. My mission is from I, who has given my voice, my wisdom, and my anointed mind. What you don't understand is that I is the torch that dwells within myself, and BK and people like you, BK, are the lighter fluid that ignites my fire. This one here is not like Jesus, who was docile and not a warrior. I have sent myself to fight till the death for truth, not to kill in the physical, but to destroy the idols and gods who live in the minds of the people. I is here. Here is a gem. Genesis 1:26, and the Creator said, "Let us make man in our image and after our likeness." Pseudo scholars teach that the Creator is talking to angels or some sort of council. The Creator is speaking to a male human who is on the earth. There is no intercessor between them. He has a physical body uncultivated in the ways of the Creator spirit. The Creator begins to shape this one first by building trust. As the Creator begins to reveal trust to him, this one begins to trust the Creator. Now he knows that the Creator is with him and within him. He listens to the advice from the Creator. Give back those lies and sins to their rightful owner, so you may find an everlasting peace with the one who gave you life. This one will be the second Adam and the only Christ, the first resurrected from the spiritually dead people. And in my closing, we'll touch on a couple more things that BK tried to say were wrong in my letter. You tried to confuse the people again when you brought up the seed of Isaac and the seed after. Genesis 17:19, and God said, Sarah thy wife shall bear thee a son, indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac, and I will establish my covenant with him, an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him. Listen very closely what I'm about to read to you. BK, you ran straight to the offspring, being disingenuous. Why would you not deal with your Bible accordingly? Paul said in Galatians 3:16, now to Abraham and his seed were the promise made. He saith not unto seeds, as of many, but as of one, and to thy seed, which is Christ. You must not have consulted with your team of researchers. So now I, son, must do some apologetics for BK, since he blatantly misrepresented the meaning of the scripture again. Now, if there is only one seed, then who is the seed after Isaac? Esau is the heir of the promised seed. And let me show you how Abraham's seed is made one again. This is what is called revelations, and why there is none higher nor wiser than I. Genesis 28:19. Then went Esau unto Ishmael, and took unto the wives which he had Malitha, the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son, the sister of Nejabbeth, to be his wife. In mathematics, this is the only time 1 + 1 = 1. 1, Isaac's son Esau, plus 1, Ishmael's granddaughter Malitha, makes Abraham's seed one whole again. Let me show you the beautiful mind of I and how this unfolds. Ishmael is called the son of flesh, and Isaac is the promised seed. So I create Malitha, the granddaughter of Ishmael's flesh, who creates a womb from Abraham to carry the promised seed from Abraham, the only time his seed is one again. Bear with me just a little longer, almost done. Have a surprise at the end. Notice BK stayed away from a couple key points. Rebecca sending Jacob to lie, which is a sin. Jacob sees the Creator's face to face and lives. How Yahweh hated Esau. Now you know why he hated Esau before he was born. Reason being, Yahweh knew Jacob did not have Abraham's promised seed. So even in the womb, Jacob and Satan was so desperate that they grabbed Esau by the heel, trying to pull him down so he could be the first seed after Isaac. This is why trusting in I is so beautiful and irrefutable. That was not Esau pulling himself out of the womb, it was I. Yahweh knew one would come from the line of Esau to expose these lies and stop the lies of Esau being white. Because if Esau is white, so is David, because he is called ruddy also. Now, are you ready to call David white? Isaiah 63. Who is it that cometh from Edom? Esau is from Edom, with the dyed garments from Bozrah. That is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speaketh in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the winefat? I have trodden the winepress, and alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury. And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiments. For the day of vengeance is mine, heart, and thy year of redemption is come. And I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered that was none to uphold. Therefore mine own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury it upheld. And I will tread down the people in my anger, and make them drunk in fury, and I will bring down their strength to the earth. This one comes from Edom. And who is Edom? Esau. And as for the name Israel, you stole that name. They, the wickedly wise ones, knew that the children of I would be called Israel. Once you know I's real, you will become the seed of Israel. This is why they are clones. They have no identity of their own. When the truth comes, it takes back what is his rightful heir. It's all plagiarized. And thank you for listening. And it is time to wrap this one up. But before time to wrap this one up. Where are we at here? But before we do that, Son was deemed a plagiarizer. He took 3 sentences out of my entire presentation, which is less than 1% of the entire letter. It was used in the form of a meaning. BK, this is why the title was named for you, since you strained at 3 sentences. What's up with this camel you are swallowing and not telling the people the truth? Matthew 23:24, and this was the heading. You blind guides, which strain at a gnat and swallow a camel. BK, who was the real plagiarizer? Christianity's stolen most of their stuff from Egypt and other groups before them. The 10 Commandments, that comes from Ma'at. The Trinity, that comes from the Triads. The cross, that comes from the Ankh. Mary is a symbol of Isis. Satan is a symbol of Seth. Proxy kings, their kings are a symbol of Pharaoh. They also stole the concept of good and evil. And finally, Osiris. Jesus was a form of Osiris. They took from the pagan Egyptians and Buddhists. Ever since Jacob went down into Egypt, he was back to his same old tricks of stealing. Your religion has always mimicked the life of other civilizations that was thriving before your movement even existed. Never forget Jacob's name. Jacob means supplanter, a person or thing that takes the place of another through force, scheming, or a strategy. When you do not have the seed, you must graft from those that came before you. Peace and blessings, and all praises are due to I only. Thank you, brother.
My bad for that, man. That was I Son right there. That was I Son. Man. You got the crowd going wild, Chief. You got them going wild and nuts with that one. You know what I'm saying? But this is the thing right here, right? And you know, you and I was gonna have a talk after this.
Yes, sir.
So this is the thing, and I'm just gonna do this because I have to relay the message. And shout out to Michelle Turner, one of the bodega ladies. You know what I'm saying? You know, she rocked with BK. She's also a very big supporter of Paradigm Shift TV 314. So, you know, she in there hot, she blazing. But shout out to Miss Michelle Turner. I see her, I can see her comments on fire. But other than that, you know what I'm saying? Of course, you know, Paradigm Shift TV 314 is very much so neutral. You know what I'm saying?
And they hot with the truth. I listen, I ain't got a problem with it. You know, that's internal.
No. I got you. But we are glad to have you around. But this is the thing right here, right? Now, from the Christian side, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of them feel a certain type of way about you using the Bible, right? And actually using that to support I. And a lot of them feel it's not necessarily correct. Do you have anything to say to them about that?
Sure. No, it says in the beginning was the what?
The Word.
All right, then. And it said the Word would be made what? Flesh.
Flesh, okay.
Not a Bible. So you can't get upset because most of the people, our people, were given this belief from the slave masters. So when I'm talking, my brothers and sisters that are going against myself, it's not myself that they're going against. It's going against the spirit that has been placed in them. So now when I come to tell them the truth about what it is, they can't see it because they want that good old religion because their grandmother had it, their great-grandmother had it, their great-grandfather had it. All of them had it before them, and they're scared to break away from it. But don't try to fight what's being said. If I'm using the Bible and it makes sense, tell me where I'm wrong. If Jesus came and then he leaves and he doesn't fulfill the prophecies, but then I take you to Daniel 7 and I show you that one comes with the everlasting, with dominion. This is all what you said Jesus was going to have. So how can you be upset with myself because I'm taking your book, since you said it's not mine, but the words are, but I'm taking your book and using it against you? Then prove me wrong in the scripture. How is Jesus coming back in the clouds, but yet here's this one coming like the Son of Man in the clouds, and he's given dominion? First of all, for these Christians that stand to try to fight for Jesus, again, he never came for you. And I can prove to you that he never resurrected. So none of that happened. But you have a lot of people that don't know the Bible. They read the Bible, but they don't comprehend the Bible. And then they're so scared to break away from it because everybody else believes it. I've never been that type of person. I've never been under peer pressure. I'm always going to walk the walk that I has put myself on. Even when myself didn't know who I was, that's just who myself has always been made. Even my, I call him my pop. He used to always tell me, boy, you got the hardest head, you don't listen to nobody. That doesn't mean I'm not listening. That means I'm learning for myself to see what it is. If it doesn't match up, then there's a problem. And like I said, if Jesus came, there's nothing in the Old Testament that prophesies about one coming back. And this is why I said to you earlier that they had to write another book. Because this is not the New Testament. You're still in the Old Testament. Every knee hasn't bowed. Every tongue has not confessed. I'm not against Jesus. I'm against how you people have put him to be something that he's not. And I'm going to put him in the proper place. And if you don't put him in the proper place, then you're going to find yourself not in this place, meaning earth, if you continue to follow this lie. And I'll ask anyone out here that thinks what I'm saying is so wrong. If Rebecca, and I always go to this, if she lied and you're following the line of liars, then where's your accountability for her to that lie? You're just accepting it. And that's the problem with our people. If masters say it, they do it. Stop believing in these lies. If it says that the creator hated lies, despised lies, then when this woman tells the biggest lie, and then these people who you call Hebrew Israelites or Israel or Jews, and they come in and they hijack the Bible, pretty much hijacked, because this is all the first books are told from the vision of Abraham. But I'm sorry, Moses. Abraham was not an Israelite. So the creator never had the intention for one special nation. It was for nations. That's why I read that very first script. And I'm telling you, you're off the script if you think it's one nation. You Christians who follow this Jesus and these Israelites and Hebrews, they don't believe you're supposed to have salvation. They believe you're going to be their slaves in heaven, what you may call heaven. What sense does that make? You need to listen to someone that's telling you the truth. Jacob, Israel, it's all fabricated. It's all fabricated. They did that to throw you off the true bloodline. If you're going to read the story, read it right. If it said Abraham's seed, not with the letter S, then show me how Abraham's seed creates the children of Jacob when the Rebecca is from Nahor, who was Abraham's brother. So it's not just Abraham's seed. But when Esau goes to Ishmael and they create a child, Ishmael's granddaughter, and they create a child, those seeds both come from Abraham. You cannot deny that. So the problem is you need to do some cleansing within yourself. And you need to start wrenching out these lies, because these lies are going to have you in a state of great confusion. Because I'm not confused. So for you to say to me, why am I using your book? Because you don't know how to use it. So therefore, someone has to come to show you how to read it properly, and stop listening to these pastors and preachers that when you ask them a question that's hard, they just tell you, just believe God. God did it. God said it. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. This is what I mean. You don't have a name. You just have a title. And titles go for anything. If you got a dad, everybody's got a dad. That's a title. But if your father has a specific name, then everybody doesn't have that. And Christians, you don't have that. You don't say Yahweh. The Hebrew Israelites say that. Jehovah's Witnesses say Jehovah. You claim Jesus as God. How is Jesus God? First of all, his name wasn't even Jesus. His name was Emmanuel. And no one ever called him Emmanuel. So that's why I brought that part up. You got to go look at this Bible and pay attention. How is it this? I'll just bring something up. How is it that when Jesus, quote unquote, is on the cross and he gives up the ghost, you have three different disciples saying he said three different final words? That makes no sense. How come every so often this book is being revised? If it is the word, then it should never change. That's why it says that the word would be made flesh, because your Bible has changed. It lies, it contradicts itself, it does so many different things. So when I'm in the Bible, I'm trying to break the curse that you're under, that spell that you're under. Just like Rebecca said, let this curse be on me. Well, guess what happens with that curse that's on her? It transfers to everybody who's under that curse. So if you want to stay in that curse, bodega lady, go right ahead. But you're not going to ever seal my mouth to the truth. And I'm not going to ever stop using the Bible until it's broken.
I gotta that one deserve a that was whew. Yo, I have to say, I son, that was really fierce of you. I am not gonna lie. It kind of shocked me a little bit. I know that shocked the crowd. But check this out. So you're saying because of your enlightenment, your understanding, you have a way better understanding of regular Christians when it comes down to their own book, which is the Bible.
That's not their book.
Oh.
That was given to them. They inherited that book from a people. That's why they had Jesus as white. So it's always been the Caucasian man book. The very first book was the slave book that they gave him. We never needed this so-called religion. Religion is just a cult. So you actually have the ability to speak to the Creator when you're in the right frame, when you are aligned properly. And this is what they never wanted you to become, an individual. So they herded you. That's why they call them sheep. So they got them all following each other in a cluster. And they're all confused. Their groups don't get along. And then their father is the Pope on earth. Christianity, Roman Catholics, is the highest you can get out of Christianity. And they have all of the papers supposedly under the Vatican. I know they got some information under there. Not one of these people up here talking off this one book, been over to the Vatican and look in there to see what's really going on, because you're not going to let you see it. They're going to keep you where they have you. You have to break yourself from this. That's why I've spoken about breaking from the lower nature. When you start getting rid of the sin, when you stop lying, cheating, you got to break these things. You got to be accountable for what you do. And the moment you start doing that, and I'm telling you now, at this point in time, somebody in here listening, that just resonated in their heart. It made sense. It made sense because myself can feel it because of my relationship to I. So I'm not here trying to lie to you. I'm here to try to tell you the truth, because you have but a time now. If you look around the world, just like it said, it'd be like the days of Noah. They'll be eating and drinking and partying. So shall it be the coming. But he ain't going to be the Son of Man. He's going to be the man.
Okay, so not the Son of Man, but the man. Precursor, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So I son, check this out. Vincent Mullet, shout out to Mr. Vincent. And then, of course, there's Michelle. Shout out to Mr. Michelle. it would be cool if she could come up, you know what I'm saying? But if she doesn't, she
Okay.
doesn't, you know, but it is what it is, because in a minute we'll drop the link. But Vincent said something very interesting. You see what I'm saying? He said, and I will show the comment, I know Michael and Satan personally. Now, with this type of spirit, you said you can identify individuals with their spirit. You said the frenzy of an individual, right? And how they try to claw and come at you when the truth is actually being spoken. They feel a certain type of way by their frequency. So how would you feel? How do you feel about Vincent's comment and what
He's telling you he knows who he is. Look at his picture. Look what he has in his mouth.
He got a cigarette.
Right. The spirit doesn't want that. You take care of your temple. This is how you preserve your temple. All of this stuff I hear from Christians, when some of them, not all of them, but most of them, a great deal of them, say when Jesus came, he took away so-called law that they had. So you can eat whatever you want. I'm sorry to inform all of you. The only thing you should be eating is vegetables. That is our diet. Being a vegan is what we were made to be. That's why it tells you in Genesis 1:26, it says, every herb-bearing seed will be for your meat. Not an animal. Not an animal. And before they ate animal, they were only eating vegetables. The animal came into play when, per the Bible, is when Abel, who you call Abel, starts slaughtering. Once he killed that lamb, it was free game.
They just went into a frenzy because they tasted blood, huh?
Exactly, because they're bloodsuckers.
Oh man, it's empiric.
So this is, and they've put that in our people, and now our people have become. This is why when you see these people eating meat, their teeth are falling out at like 70, 60, 65, 50 something years old because of that chewing. Your teeth aren't made for that. They're not made to chew that stuff. It's too hard. And it breaks it down. And then it loosens it. And then all of a sudden, you got issues with your teeth. Not everyone, but a great deal of them. Because if you notice, once they get in the 70s, now they had the dentist getting them dentures in. You got it. We're not meant to eat. Now, here's one thing that I'm doing with myself that I got to get myself right back on. I'm very honest. I need to get back to fasting like I used to fast. And I tell my wife that, I say, but see, the way my mind works is I tell myself what you need to do. Get yourself in order here. Do this, do that. And get yourself together. So that's the same thing. You have to have a conversation within you to make you a better person. Nobody can make you a better person. You have to do that. That's why it's me. Well, really, you want to get rid of the me of you. The me is the ego. It's myself and I. When you know self, then you'll know who I is. But you got to go find out who you are. And you're going to have to deal with it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's coming down. Or it's going down, should I say.
It's going down. It's going down.
It's going down. Everybody's been talking like, okay, yeah, I can't wait to get to heaven. You might want to think about getting to heaven, because you just ain't walking in that door, which you call heaven. And I'm going to let you know right now, heaven ain't in the sky. It's all right here on earth. So if you think you're going to float up somewhere, when you go in that ground, you stay in that ground. You go there now. You can go there that somebody was put in the ground this year, earlier this year, that body has decomposed. The hair got longer, and the skin went to bones. So when the scriptures is talking about, because that they'll open up from the grave The grave is you. You're in the grave of death. You're spiritually dead. This is why what my words are saying to you is an issue. Because you're busy trying to hold on to that flesh, and I'm trying to talk to the spirit, but the spirit is in contradiction of the flesh is in contradiction of the spirit. You don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear it. But I guarantee you one thing, you don't have a choice. There's nothing that can stop it. Look at these wars. Look at this, the way the world is today. You don't even know what year you're in. You think you're in 2025. You're not. The calendar never counted up, it counted down. If you go get a Bible, they'll start it at 4004 BC. Okay? Now, if you take 4004 BC to Jesus, then you take 2000 from Jesus to us, you have 6,000 years. Now, the Bible said it was 7 days, is what the Creator says. 6 days will their labor, and the seventh will be for rest. You don't even understand what this is talking about. You think this is a 24-hour day. No, it is a 1,000-year period. So it is millenniums. So if you did the 4,000 years, that would be equivalent to 4 days. Plus these 2,000 years, 4 and 2 is what? 6. There's your 6 days. So you're actually in the last day right now. This right here that we're living in the spiritual world, it is called the Sabbath. It is the day of rest. It is the day where you are no longer going to be allowed to be sinning. So I'm telling you now, better get it together. That pig, that cow, that shellfish, all of that, it's not permitted. It's going to be right here. And I'm going to give you something that you may not have paid attention to, and your preachers or your pastors or your so-called leaders don't talk to you about. When it talks about Abraham, and when it says that Abraham's people that have been enslaved or freed, they will come out with a great abundance. But not only will they come out with a great abundance, it says, and then they'll go back to a good old ripe age like their forefathers did. So we weren't meant to be 100 years old. We were meant to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 800 years old. You can believe it if you want, or you don't have to believe it. But I promise you, if you do what's right, you're going to see what is called the hereafter, or the heaven on earth. Ain't no gold streets up there. And I'm not going to say there are going to be gold streets here, but there's going to be golden here. And the job is to live as long as you can, because I promise any of you, every last one of you on here, you're going to do your best to save your life, because you don't know what's after this, because there is nothing after this for you. When the body, everything is a lease to us. So you'll understand this. It's all a lease. Your body goes back to the ground. Your spirit, which is the energy, which is I that lives within us, goes back to I. And that's it. The only thing that you have is your name. That's the only thing. That's why it says the word is everlasting. So when you tell me I can't go into your Bible, you're sadly mistaken. It's full of words. So I'm going to go right where the word is. And any other, Quran, it doesn't matter. The words, this is the way the Creator communicates with us. And this is how we communicate with each other. This is how I talks to us. Now, I'm going to say this, and there's no reason for myself to lie. And I've said this before, it's documented. I've heard I's voice several times. The first was many years ago. But then there was one day, I'll never forget it. I'm in my car, and usually I have music or something on in the car. For some reason, there was nothing playing. And then all I heard in my ear was Duran. That is my name. And I looked to the right, and I looked to the left, and nobody is in the car. And then myself said, yes. And then the voice proceeded. It says, why is it that people pay their car notes and their house notes, but they do not pay their debts to me? I am the one that gave them life. Then, at this time, I did not know the name I. So now I said, Father, I do not know why, but when it's my time, I will ask them. So, and this was 20-something years ago. So this isn't something that I woke up and wanted to discuss. No, this is something that is embedded in me. You can't pluck me out the hand of I. I'm trying to get you to understand what's going on, because there's a regime change, and this regime change will never go back. We are the people that are the foundation to bring in the new Genesis that will never be an end. So we'll have a beginning that never ends. But this mess that's going on out here will never be in that part of the world. This is all going to go away. You won't hear the word Satan. You won't see a Bible. You won't say devil. You won't be cursing. It'll be a beautiful place to be on earth, right here. Right here on this earth is where it all happens at. But the change comes from within you. You got to change. You got to start convicting yourself. And when you see a lie, then you got to confront the lie. If you keep letting the lie live, then you'll never get to who you are, because that lie has consumed you. It's like clothing. It's like you got on 60, 70 shirts. Start taking them off one by one till you can see that naked truth, because that's what's bearing you down, those lies. These sins, we got to stop them. We got to stop them. When you hear the truth, that's when you're accountable for it. If you hear it and you don't adhere to it, then you're responsible now. And my word is the truth. And anybody that want to come up, prove one thing that was said that was a lie. And let's do it in decency. I have no problem speaking to anyone, but do it in decency. We don't need to holler. People are listening. My job is to teach. I've never spoken in tongues a day in my life. And I have my sister that can verify this, one of my sisters. And I was going through a change in my life 23 years ago, seeking and trying to find out my purpose, because I knew, well, 25 years ago, actually, I'm sorry, 25, 26 years ago, I knew what I was doing. I was wrong. I was in the streets. I was doing things I shouldn't be doing. Nobody's perfect. That's why, you don't come down. You have to raise yourself up. You have to come up from hell. You got to get out of that hell. So I had to pull myself out of hell, but it had to start within myself. But then I also had to seek the Creator. I told the Creator when I was changing my life, I want to know you for myself. I don't want to go to a church. I've never sat under any man. I reach out to the Creator. And all I'm trying to tell you is you have access to I. But you can't come to I faking. It's not going to happen. It's impossible. So you can play religion. You can't play spirituality. Can't play this. You can't lie to I. Notice how when myself uses the word I, it's not about myself. Because each and every last one of you have I in you. If I ask every last one of you who put your shirt on, who put your shoes on today, you'd have to say I did. That is the common denominator. We're all numerators. The problem is we don't have a common denominator. And you'll never have a common denominator with God, with Lord. You'll never have. These are titles. Jesus, these are titles. Your God and his God is different gods. Give me the name. And I promise you, the Creator's name won't be held by anybody else. So therefore, there'll be a distinction. There's none before I. There's only one.
Okay. None before I. There is only one. All right, I son. I dropped the link, but it looked like some folks are a little bit rattled and afraid to come up. Well, what do you feel about that? How do you feel? Because you said a lot of things, man. That was, well, actually, you warned us. You said you're not here to hurt feelings, but if you hurt feelings, you hurt feelings. You see what I'm saying?
Well,
I mean, you had Vincent. Shout out to Vincent again. You know, like the brother was saying it wasn't a cigarette, it was a blunt. You know what I'm saying? Like you got people trying
as
to
if
explain
that made it better.
You got people trying to explain themselves.
Oh my goodness.
You know what I'm saying? But I just gotta see.
Yeah, like,
how do you feel about it? Now hold on right quick.
Mm-hmm.
I got to introduce this man right here. Standing at 6'2", from the wild streets of St. Louis. He has a beautiful wife, intelligent children, a mean-ass Rottweiler, a pet bearded dragon. The man has always stood for his family. He's not afraid of anyone. He stands on business, and he is the master of Paradigm Shift TV 314. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up for my brother, the one, the only, the stylish and the majestic DMG, the infamous poet. Shout out to DMG, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. How you doing, DMG? What's up, Chief?
I don't know if you BSing or what you doing right now, but
who?
I'm talking to Classic.
Oh, that's what I was like, who you talking to? I know you're talking to.
Yeah, I don't know what he doing. He did a lot right there, but you know, if you meant to salute, but somehow I think you was BS. Anyway, shout out to the Irrefutable I Son. I just had a question because I seen some stuff in the chat talking about favoritism because I didn't catch the beginning of the show. So I just want to make sure that wouldn't levy towards yours truly, because you are here doing your refute to BK. So I hope you don't think I would be biased or unfair to you, given that you are right here, and whenever you want to be right here, you can come up here. So I just want to make sure that's not what's being said.
Okay.
Or intimated.
Sure. That was definitely to a degree being said. So, and the reason why I say that,
how so?
That's what I'm going to explain this. The reason why I said it is because this is your program. So when you have a program and you see nothing should go past you, you see my face on the flyer, we got each other's numbers. So I would expect you to be like, yo, you cool with this? Or yo, me and him is good. You can't use that. You have to go ahead and set your flyer up another way. You can use what you're refuting. That's perfect. Because in my picture, my head is down. They altered my picture to put my head up. So yes, it was absolutely directed in that manner.
So the favoritism was because your picture was on the flyer?
No, but favoritism was when I was about to do what I wanted on my flyer. It was told that I couldn't do it.
What did you want to do on your flyer?
I was adding something, just BK's name. I wasn't doing anything disrespectful, but they said, no, you can't put his name on here. And I'm like, whoa, what? So my point is,
you only wanted to put.
Let me ask you this.
No. I just want to make sure.
Ask you a question before I go any further.
We clear. You only wanted to put BK name on the flyer.
Were you aware of that? Is what I want to ask.
Yeah, but I wasn't told that you were putting BK name on the flyer.
Well, that's how I sent it over.
So you wanted to put BK apologist on the flyer.
Yeah, well, he used my name and my whole picture on his. Like I said, it's water under the bridge to me now. But
yeah, no. I get that.
I'm gonna let you know. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm with the full explanation. I just so because what I got was BK propagandists. I wouldn't have had no issue with you putting BK apologists because
the last one I sent back, it didn't have propagandists on it. And I'm not sure if the first one did.
No, I'm telling you that was the only issue I had with the flyer. It's saying BK propagandist because now if I didn't think you would have a problem with your picture, AI or otherwise, being on the flyer because there was nothing disrespectful said about you in the flyer, nor was the picture meant to be disrespectful. Otherwise, we wouldn't have used it. Sure. So when I got something saying BK propagandist, me knowing that the brother didn't disrespect you, call you out your name, etc., I didn't feel that was acceptable. Now, had I got something saying you were putting BK apologist, I wouldn't have had a problem with it.
So hold on, Craig, did you send him the second one that I sent?
Yeah, I sent them all.
Okay. So therefore, the other one doesn't say propagandist. If that's, I would have to go back, but I do know that even in my I say that apologist is a propagandist because of the way I feel in that. So, I'm not disrespecting in my mind because I see it as propaganda. So I'm not disrespecting. So when I put on there when I asked the brother the second time, he told me, no, they don't want BK on there at all. And that's when I took away about that.
And Craig, is that what I told you? I ain't want BK on there at all.
Well, from what I remember, right, it's just you didn't want the whole propagandist or anything that was negative towards BK. You see what I'm saying?
Right, and that don't seem fair considering there wasn't nothing negative about our son on his.
And here's what Craig said when he came back to me.
No. I'm asking, would that not be fair considering the brother didn't say nothing negative about you on his?
Hey, brother, I just said to you that I gotta remember if I put propagandists on there. I don't remember. I know that I thought.
No, I'm literally looking at my text message and what it says. That was the only reason it was denied. Now, as far as another one coming where it had BK apologists, I don't see it.
No, I'm gonna tell you what it said.
But I just want to be clear to you. I would never play favorites. I let everybody come up here and say what they want to say. I'm not trying to censor you. Anybody can say what they want to say about me as long as they know they got something coming back. But I would never play favorites between the two of you. I didn't think the brother disrespected you. I didn't want anything that could be deemed disrespectful being done to him, period. That's all that was.
I respect that. I 100% respect that. But I felt, now, so you're aware of this, I felt disrespected. Now that you know, I felt disrespected using my image and likeness without my consent.
Understood.
Okay.
Understood.
So
I didn't think it was like a mockery or anything like that. So that was the only reason why. Had I even considered that you was offended by it, I wouldn't have used it. But I didn't think. I actually thought it was for AI. It got a look close. But I hear what you're saying. I just didn't. The image I didn't feel was disrespectful. If they'd have had you doing something out of character or looking crazy, then of course I would have been like, nah, bro, we ain't doing that.
Right.
But,
yeah, no, I'm looking at now. I do have in parentheses BK propagandist. So I respect that one. And then I sent it back because I'm looking at it right now. And then I sent it back and I had to have I had the scripture that you would strain at a gnat and swallow a camel, BK. So what I was saying was that he looked at, because he tried to say, well, he AI'd this. It was 3 sentences, as if that was my whole presentation to try to make it a big deal. So that's why I said, when I brought up the end of my thing, when I talked about how they stole from Mayat, Osiris, Heru, all of this stuff, how they stole from other civilizations. That's what I was saying is plagiarism. So, you know, I just didn't like that part. So when I went back, I was just trying to stay on subject, stay on topic with what he was talking about.
I didn't listen. I'm not about to censor you in anything you said, just like I didn't censor Big Bro. I just wanted to make sure you understood. I done told you this a bunch of times. You got carte blanche to come on whenever you want to. I don't want you to think I'm being biased towards you in any way on purpose. I didn't take the picture to be disrespectful, so that's why I ran with it. I took the BK propagandist thing to be disrespectful. I didn't think the brother said nothing disrespectful about you. So that's all that was. I didn't hear everything you said, but I don't think you called a brother out his name or nothing like that. So I just wanted to make sure we were straight on that. But y'all had a great show. Great show, and hopefully somebody will come up here and try to challenge you. I'm gonna let y'all get back to it.
Hey, I thought you was coming up here to do that, because I kind of saw when you was talking about I take from brother BK. I was like, okay, now you're starting to show me where you at.
Well, I thought I've been showed you where I was at, brother. I ain't been disingenuous about what I believe or what I don't believe.
No, I'm not. Never said disingenuous. I just thought you had a couple different hats.
Was I trying to gas up the conversation between you and BK? Of course.
We didn't have a conversation.
I should say discourse, because he was doing his thing, and I knew you was gonna come back and do your thing. So
I mean, you know, you said you had to run home and get home and check that out, because you knew. So I'm gonna call
BK the big bro. I just did the same thing with yours. So, but yeah, I'm gonna let y'all get back to it. No, I ain't coming up to challenge you. I just wanted to make sure we were straight on the bias or the favoritism thing.
I had your number. If I felt like it was something big, like I told the brother earlier when Craig brought it up, I said to him I had already pretty much forgot about it.
Agreed. That's what's up. That's what's up. All right,
I'm gonna let y'all. It's in the air. Now we know if anything got to do with me, holla at me.
Yeah, you already know I'm a straightforward type of guy, so I just want to get to the bottom of it. But
yeah, that's why we cool. You know,
exactly.
We never had no issue, because we got the same type of personality.
Exactly. Hey, y'all go on, hit the link and come up and refute what the brother's saying. He made some strong claims. Somebody come up and challenge him. Hey, where you at, brother? Hit me. Where you at? All right, y'all.
So hold on right quick, DMD. I gotta ask you this. You see what I'm saying? Because check it out. Ison has been here for a while. He said a lot of things. The brother has a hit list. Of course.
Hey, why you trying to make your voice deeper?
Well, I'm not trying to make my voice deeper.
Because I came up here, you want to try to make it seem like your voice is deep as mine.
This is how I usually talk. I don't know.
Sure.
But anyway,
just like you can grow a beard, so you say. Of
course. But check it out though. So check this out though. So Teflon Duran, aka I Son, aka the Irrefutable One, aka Mr. Hurt Your Feelings but Give You the Truth, right? Has a hit list. Of course, he wants Hemi. Everybody loves Hemi. Everybody wants Hemi.
I don't want Hemi. Hemi want me.
Right, Hemi wants you. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just putting him on the hit list. I'll put him on the hit list. Then after that, you know what I'm saying? There is the Owaspi, aka the Creator Gang. You see what I'm saying? And you know, then there's all the other individuals that come up to try to challenge him. You know what I'm saying? Any Christian, any Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? Do you feel like we have? Hold up, the secretary set up like Frozone. Oh, that's messed up, bro. But anyway, sorry. I don't like her, but shout out.
Yeah, can you I need you to introduce A9 to Elastic Girl.
Hey, but hold on right quick. So anyway, my bad. She caught me with that one. But anyway, but ISON wants a challenge. ISON wants the conversation. ISON wants to smoke. You see what I'm saying? So is there a way we can set it all up? Is there a way we can get possibly BK to come around and have the conversation, brother? Is there a way we can do it? Of course.
Now, see, you got to remember, BK is the Don. He gonna send his capos.
Now,
Like,
hold on, bro. Whoa. Don't get online and then talk about me, use my picture and send somebody else. I don't do that.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
In that case, he can say where he at.
Daryl Cosmine. Daryl Cosmine, hit the link, brother. Hit the link, Daryl Cosmine. Drop that link. We got Daryl Cosmine in the building. Create a gang.
yeah, one of those.
Drop that link.
Yeah, I don't
But
if he can talk, he can come up and talk.
BK being the Don, he might send a capo like the Slim Reaper.
Nah, bro, he ain't got enough views for that. I seen this thing. He ain't got enough.
Oh man.
He can come on up and talk. If he want, they can all come with him. I have a problem with that.
The whole super team.
Now you know the Don have other people that plunge their hands in the dirt so his can stay clean. You know what I mean?
Well, I would think he would come back after how I showed where his information was misinformation.
He might come back. He might do another rebuttal, but not.
Let me ask this question: why wouldn't the brother talk mano a mano? That way we can get that set straight instead of him saying something and then I got to come back and say.
Now listen. He do this. BK has debated.
It can be a debate or a conversation. Doesn't make me a difference either way. All I'm saying is. I shouldn't have to wait for you to respond to something that I said from the gate.
I tell you what I do. I send out the kite. We got Michelle Turner in the building. I have Michelle Turner send out the kite.
Yeah, he put himself in this.
And then we'll see if he won. I mean, I personally believe he defeated Captain Tazariak in the debate. I think he might. He might throw his little bro a bone, and we can set up BK versus ISON, man, versus series rules.
We can have we can have a debate. We can have a conversation. Like I said, anything dealing with these gods, I don't have a problem with it because these gods are no more coming from Satan and his fallen angels. That's all it is.
Hey, y'all heard it here first. ISON is challenging Don Alfredo, as I call him, to a debate. In my mind, the Don challenged the Ron. That's how I saw it. He he's just answering the Don's challenge.
So here's what I say. I don't know if the brother was being disrespectful because, like I said, maybe you didn't listen to everything since you said that. Now it just came to my thought process. But when he talked about he had to do a preemptive strike, and when he said that I remind him of Nature Boy and Polite, and then the other brother, the young brother, young Pharaoh.
Squeaky young Pharaoh. Young Pharaoh.
So you can't say there wasn't no shot.
Hey Don, did I give you too much credit, Don BK? Nature Boy and Polite, that's crazy work.
And let me explain something to you. There's only one teacher.
He said it's only one teacher.
Yes, Don means a teacher.
Somebody sent me a screenshot. Somebody said some heavy stuff about you, bro.
Myself?
Yeah. Like they say somebody sent me a screen. Let me see if I can find it. Hold up. Let me make sure I ain't tripping. Somebody sent me a screenshot. Now I'm just gonna warn you, the screenshot was from somebody that's a bit of a weirdo. So take that for what you will.
Yeah. Then if it's propaganda.
Well, so the weirdo said,
the weirdo.
ISON, I know who you are. I know what took place at the Jordan River. Tell them you the one. Do you know what that means? Is that one of your followers?
I don't have a follower. Nobody follows me. Let's get this clear.
Okay.
My position is that I tell you who I is, I share, and it's between you and I. None of this blood is ever going to be on my hands. That's why I say you could lie to myself all day, but you can't lie to I. So I'm not responsible for that. Like I said, the word is ikabacha. That is a word that means to teach. When Prophet Muhammad came, he was given the word ikra, which means to read.
So do you know what this individual is referring to?
First of all, you just said they're pretty much anonymous, right?
Nah, the only reason I say they are weirdo is because they pretty much stalk me wherever I go. And so, but
nobody listen, my sister, my family, if you're asking me, was I baptized in the Jordan River? 100%.
No. So they said they know what happened. I'm trying to figure out what happened.
How can they know what happened? Not unless what they're saying is they understand the reason. I don't know what they're talking about.
Hey, stop the presses. Stop the presses.
But let me introduce them, DMG.
Nah, brother. I don't know about your introductions. Your introductions might be
legendary and they're great. Come on, brother. Let me introduce them.
Go ahead and introduce them, man. But if you don't do them justice, I'm kicking you off.
It happens all the time. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we got a special guest right here. This man right here has the knowledge that breaks all foundations. This is the man that the cosmos has sent down to bring the greatest form of enlightenment on this earth. He's not as great as the written creator's decree. A creator is greater than a god. And what is a god to a creator? I give you the rapping sensation. I give you the man that beat the hell out of JJ 7000 senselessly. Him and his crew was ferocious. They made Christians, Muslims, whatever the hell you are. If you read it out of a book, they done whoop some ass. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I gotta give it to Creator Gangs, Daryl Cosmo.
Hey, man, that was a hell of an introduction, brother. How did I come behind that? Hey, but listen, just want to say all praise to the ever-present Great Spirit, whose magnitude is incomprehensible, whose presence is everywhere. Love, light, peace, balance, and progression to all my brothers and sisters around the world. Man, what's going on with y'all? DMG, I'm here, baby. You said click the link. What's going on with you?
Hey, salute, brother. Salute. Hey, I don't know if you got to hear some of what our brother I Son was putting down, but he looking for people to get in the ring with. The brother is ready to proclaim the greatness of I, and I know you always ready to talk that Creator gang talk.
Yeah, but check it out though, the minute to keep it real with you, I saw we don't disagree with much. I mean, I listen
man. I knew that's what he was gonna say, Classic. I knew that's what he was gonna say.
Yeah, I listened to the brother, the one he dropped, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago. Yeah, man, he was shit. I ain't got nothing bad to say about the brother. He doing his thing. And listen, and he was on the panel. He was on the panel when our brother Prince Cosmo had asked Hemi the Barbarian, right? He said, with the God, if the God asked you if you would sacrifice your kid, would you sacrifice your kid, right? Hemi said, yes, I would. And Isan said, I knew it. I knew it. You see what I'm saying? That was his first reaction. So, hey, look, Isan know what it is. You know what I'm saying? And we may not be directly in the same school of thought, but But listen, he on point with where he at with his information. You see what I'm saying?
So
So
basically,
I salute you.
basically, Creator Gang and I Son could technically be an associate of Creator Gang. I see it. I see it. I know.
Yeah.
When Craig said he wanted to match y'all up, I was thinking to myself, what they gonna match up on? But I'm glad you came and shed light on it. Hey, I think GT still waiting for you, bro. Let me know when we can when I can put y'all in the room and see if we can hammer some things out. GT still want that smoke.
Oh yeah. I mean, I got priorities right now, but definitely, man. Trust me, when the time is right, brother, it's gonna come down to me and him. Believe that.
Hey, brother Daryl. I never personally met you. I like to say peace and blessings to you, brother. I listened to you guys one day, y'all were on, and I was just sitting back listening. And you brothers are 1000% right.
That's what's up.
The Creator creates gods, you know.
Yeah.
And when you said that, I'm like, these brothers is on point. You said our alignment might not be exactly the same, but then again, you know, maybe one day me, you, and the brothers sit down and talk, and we'll see where we at with it.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. But you know, you saying the same thing. You just saying it in a whole different language. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes,
like a messer and a table, the same thing. One just in English and one in Spanish. But we talking about the same object.
Respect.
So that's all it is, bro. I don't diss nobody because they're not in a WASP. What I love is common sense. And you got a lot of that. You see what I'm saying? You come with a lot of common sense.
There's no one else.
And that's interesting that you do that because you know, even in a WASP, and it's just common sense. It shouldn't take a book to tell you this.
Exactly.
But it shouldn't take a book to tell you this. But reality is the scripture. It is the true book. You know what I'm saying? The I, you know, I get what you're saying. The I is the book. We the living records. Everything
There you go. Brother.
We do is going on record. Everything we do is on record. My word. To understand that reality itself is just a field. It's an endless, eternal field of information. And how is that information processed? It's processed through our senses. You see what I'm saying?
And when we do what is right, see, everlasting life is not going to be the body. It's going to be the spirit, or not the spirit, it's the soul. And the soul is your name. And it's what you do with your name that will live forever. And I try to explain to people the reason why Adam, Eve, Noah, Moses, all these people are alive is because the living is speaking them. So when we bring their names in our conversation, we bring them back to life. They're not dying because they're living through us.
Watch this. Hey, watch
real
this.
Quick, not to interrupt y'all. I just want to let y'all know, salute. I got to jump off, but I'm going to leave y'all to it. Please keep the bill going. Shout out to Daryl Cosmine jumping on. Shout out to I Son. Shout out to the Jersey Changing One, Classic Craig. Real quick, family, before I go, I'm just going to interrupt these brothers for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes, because I got to remind y'all of what's coming up. It's the biggest event in the debate community. We doing this thing the weekend of October 3rd, going through October 5th. We got 4 powerful debates for y'all. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Real quick, pay close attention.
On October 3rd through October 5th, the entire debate world comes together for 3 nights, 1 platform, 1 spectacle. This is not just another debate event. This is the grandest stage of them all. Debate Mania is the premier event in the debate community, the Super Bowl of intellect, the WrestleMania of words. The brightest minds, the fiercest rivalries, the biggest stakes. Here, champions are made, legacies are written, and only the sharpest minds survive. Debate mania is the grandest stage of intellect. Two voices, two visions, one destiny. For generations, the fight for black liberation has taken many forms. But at Debate Mania, the battle is not fought with fists. It is fought with ideas. In one corner, the pseudo-Hunter Heru conscious, a fearless atheist, a relentless skeptic. He believes Pan-Africanism is an outdated ideology. And at Debate Mania, she plans to prove it. But standing in his way is the champion, the defender of the people, the voice of pride, power, and Pan-African unity. Super Pan Man, the Pan-African atheist. Two giants of thought, two unstoppable forces. One collision that will shake the foundations of the Versus series. This is more than a debate. This is the main event. This is Debate Mania. Only on Paradigm Shift TV 314. Be there for this historic three-night event.
Man, that was worse than them YouTube ads, man.
I don't know why DMG said I changed jerseys.
Yeah, YouTube ads. But yeah, brother. Like I was saying, it's for us to do what's right so that we can live in the with our names. You know, our bodies can't be here forever.
Right.
So, you know, what we do and what we leave behind, and that's my goal. That's my quest, should I say? Right. To live a righteous life, to do what people believe can't be done. Right. You know what I mean? And when you know, and what a lot of people don't know, I mean, they say it, but I don't believe they believe it. When you know that the Creator is in you and with you at all times and watching you, you'll start to get that conviction if you do something. Especially if you're in the light. Right. And you can't get away from I. Like you say, like I always say, when you say me, myself, once you use the word and, that's a conjunction. You're no longer that's the division right there. It divides. So now when you say and, then who's the I? Because it's not you. And where we fall, like I said earlier, is we're all numerators, and until we can all have a common denominator, this will never be right. And that's what we're looking for. That's why when you said it earlier, you said, brother, when DMG was talking, I guess he thought we were going to go against each other. But when I knew what you were talking about, and I was just sitting back listening, but once you start speaking, I said, brothers, he's there. He already knows what it is. Yeah, that's what it is, man. He already knows what it is. And you on point too with it, because you said that what we write is our name. And what's interesting is if you look at you even go in the Bible, there's a verse in Exodus, I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's something to the effect of that the Lord is jealous, and jealousy is his name, right? Now, if you go to Strong's and look up name, it specifically tells you that name means character. Right. Exactly. So right there, why would you worship a God whose character and name is jealous? And when you look up jealous in the Strong's, it has a negative connotation to the definition. So they can't run to some other verse and try to give you some patchwork explanation to say that jealousy, that when he said that he's jealous, is a good thing. It's not. Yeah. Well, jealousy is not a name; it's a title again. Yeah. See, it's an attribute. And it's a weak attribute, and that's kind of how what happened with the fall. See, what these Christians and these Bible believers don't understand is that there were people here before Adam and Eve. They're the first fallen people. We are the product of their ways. So when you go into this last day, we're recreating a new Genesis. So when they had their Genesis, it created degeneracy. When we have our genesis, and when we become awakened, if you look at the world today, there's something definitely different than what was on this earth 6,000 years ago, because we've reached the information age, and I want to say late 90s to 2000 when they were start breaking it up. Look how technology is today. It's because it's different now. That's because the energy of I is here. We're blessed to be born at this time. Abraham, Moses, Noah, all of them, they would have loved to have been here at this day and time. And then when our time is up, it's even going to be even greater.
Right. And that time, and I'll cut you off real quick, that time that you just described is what we call Cosmon. That's what we call Cosmon. That's why you see Cosmon in the name, because now
what does that mean?
That means that it's the time of balance. It's time for man to balance his spiritual knowledge along with his corporeal knowledge. And
now,
balance,
is corporeal meaning like flesh, or what does that mean?
Corporeal meaning flesh, right?
Okay.
Knowledge of flesh, knowledge of corpore with the knowledge of spirit, with spiritual knowledge. It's a whole another thing to get into to understand the difference between the two. You see what I'm saying? But when you someone who's spiritual, right? Now you said it yourself earlier. You're someone who wants to do the right things. Right. Well, that's what you call spirituality, because spirituality is the quality, condition, and degree of what? Your moral excellence. But not only just the quality, condition, or degree of your moral excellence, but you also recognize that it's a light that lives within you as well as with outside of you, and you recognize it as a light that everybody carries and not just you. So then you notice that I that you speak of is not alone.
Right.
It's not alone. You exist with what you call many eyes, and these many eyes is what the Creator calls. I think you said numerators, but I like to call it co-creators. We're all co-creators with this Creator or under this Creator.
Right. Yeah, definitely under. But yeah, like I look at it as a fence, and everyone is a link. And that's what I call the true infinity link. Or you can use it as a brick, because now each one of us is laying a brick to a foundation to create from the Creator. That's why.
Correct.
Right. So when you were saying, how was you saying it? When you were saying the Cosmo, I look at it when I spoke on it earlier, where you're breaking the cross. We have an upright nature, that is the I, and then we have a fallen nature, that is the negative side of us. So we have to get rid of this. There's no need for duality in us, because when you have duality, you have what is called interference, and we have to break that interference so we can receive, because it's all transmission. So you have to be open within with the spirit. So I'll say this real quick, because it tied into what you said about Cosmo, which I agree with, is mind over matter. Your mind must be stronger than this matter, because this matter, it lusts for any and everything.
Right. Well, the scene is what people need to understand. And this is even what they fail in conventional science, or what I like to call dogmatic science, is that the seen is ruled by the unseen. It's unseen forces that rules the seen. Even your thoughts are unseen. Your thoughts have no, like if I was to tell you to imagine an apple or imagine a car or a tree, 100%. you can't put that object that you're thinking about on a scale and get its weight and its volume and its mass. You see what I'm saying? So that's unseen or immaterial. I like to say immaterial, the immaterial body. See, and so a lot of people don't understand that unseen power, that force, that thought, that force that drives you, that drives the physical. It's a powerful thing, man, and that's why you gotta have, and that's what it means by cosmos being spiritual knowledge and corporeal knowledge, learning how to balance the two so that you can learn how to use both appropriately.
I'm gonna give you something. See, the reason why we have two ears is one is to take it in. The other ear is just like the anus for defecation. That one's to let out what is not good. that's not nurturing the spirituality. Just like when you eat a food and it's not, it takes care of the body and it does what it's supposed to do to the body and it gets the waste out.
Right.
Our problem as a people is they encompass that waste.
Right. And that's what that's the thing. And that's really one of the prime reasons why we got consciousness and this thing we got called perception, because it's really the outside world, or the external world is processed through our consciousness. It's processed through our consciousness, just like how, like what you just said, when we eat food, it's processed through what? Our digestive system.
That's
so
right.
Our consciousness is like our spiritual digestive system, where you receive information from the external world, and then you begin to pick it apart and take apart the things that you feel would nourish your spirit. But some people don't know how to tell those things apart.
They can't discern.
If they can't read, they can't discern. See what I'm saying? They can't discern.
That's due for them, like you talked earlier. If you have a chemical imbalance within yourself, then you're not going to be able to discern that.
Right.
They don't deal with logic. This is one thing that kills me with the Christians. They don't deal with logic, but yet they they discuss theology. Well, the LOGY in theology means logic. The THEO is Theo, which is the name of God. But I'll take you one step deeper. It's O. If you look all through the Bible, you see the word O God, O Lord, O Israel. O is the other name. See, it's I and it's O. O is the fallen spirit. O doesn't have, it's a placemat, okay? It doesn't have a body. So what it does is it goes in and out of the flesh to disturb the flesh. And once it has the flesh do what it wants it to do, it leaves and goes somewhere else. O doesn't have value. We as a people, we give it value.
That's an interesting concept, because in Owaski is it's actually a compound of three words, O, I, and Spe, meaning all three of them together means sky, earth, spirit. That's what it means. It's the 3 degrees of density. It's the 3 degrees of density that constitute the universe. You either earth, you either sky, or you either spirit. And I even showed in a presentation where you either corporeal, we're corporeal, we're also atmospheric, and we're spiritual at the same time. And that spiritual is that ether that lies outside of our corporeal and atmospheric bounds. And so what I mean by it is your body is your earth body, right? And then you got your atmosphere, which is your odor, the light that emits from you, the way you know what I'm saying,
Your aura.
Your aura. Yeah, what scientists call a biofield or biosphere, right? Your biosphere is your atmosphere. And what is this beyond our atmosphere is the ether, and that's where your sound travels. Your sound travels beyond your biosphere, and it becomes a transmission for somebody else at a distance to receive.
Absolutely.
That's why we call it expression. Yeah.
So you even remember, like, we're going to get back to the point where, and we do it to this day, but we're not all connected yet, where you can be 1,000 miles away from me, but you'll think of me and I'll think of you, and then we'll speak.
Yeah, we'll speak. Yeah, that's in Owaski too. Owaski got that.
Right.
In fact, it's the book of Lika, I think chapter 9, where it talks about the created literally says that we can think of each other, right?
Right.
And we can either exit our body, or the thought goes out into the distance subjectively, and you can pick up the transmission.
That's I pulling the energies because I want something done. See, I is energy. If I don't know if you know what Ohm's law is.
Break it down.
What Ohm's law is, it's E, I, and R, or O for R. So E is energy, E is voltage, I is the amperage, and R or O is the ohms. So ohms is another word for resistance. That would be like Shaitan, Satan, the devil, or O. Okay. Then you have I, which is the current, the creator, which moves through our bodies to give us motion. If there's no
Yeah.
current in something, it will not work.
It won't even work. That's that spirit, right? That spirit
Right.
is the
So then you have E,
It's
which
robot
is the
unseen.
voltage or the power.
Right.
All right. That is us.
Right.
We are the E's. We are the voltage. We do the work. So when you take I divided by R, no, hold on. I times R equals E. When you take E and you divide R, you get I. So what that's saying is when you divide yourself from O or R, which is Satan, then you'll find I. But you have to divide yourself. But when you divide the E into the I, then you're dividing yourself from I, and then you get the ohms, the resistor.
That's an interesting model. I like that though. That's an interesting model. You gotta we gotta have a sit down sometime, and
Anytime, brother.
Yeah, maybe you can come on. Maybe you can come over to the Creator Gang side and just do an interview with us, and
I would love it.
And break down some of the models, man. We open to it. You know what I'm saying?
I would love it, brother.
Anybody trying to argue, we just want to hear what you got to say. And we'll bounce some things off you back and forth, brother. But yeah, man, I like your energy. I gotta sign off, get my babies to bed. But I like
I hear them back there. Take care of them. Take care of them, brother.
Yeah, keep on doing what it is you're doing, man.
Yes, sir, bro. We'll meet in the sky.
Yeah, for sure. We'll meet in the
You already know.
All right, man. Love you. Hey, classic Craig, brother. Love and light to you too, man.
No, yeah. Are you cool too, cuz, man? You know what I'm saying? You far out with it. But check it out, though. We got some things for you also. It looks like, ladies and gentlemen, there is a alliance between the Creator Gang and I. So, I can't wait to see what you guys got to cook up and everything, man. That's a very powerful alliance. I did know that you two have somewhat of a similar understanding. But like you said, it was in a different, language. But I would like to see you two come together, collaborate and stuff like that. Because, Paradigm Shift TV 314 is all about working together.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. Bro. Yeah, we can always, we can set up some time, have a sit down so everybody can listen to the build either on this show, Creative Gang Style, whatever. It don't matter, man. But I'm just not at my computer, so I don't have my, box to pull up and things. So I'm kind of just joining it kind of informally. But we'll get a chance to have a formal talk, man. Hey, well, thanks for inviting me on the panel for a quick little second. I saw. Hey, nice to meet you, brother.
Appreciate the blessing, brother.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. Yeah, love and light to y'all. Peace.
Peace and blessing.
All right.
Hey, Ison, you gotta meet the Waspies. I'm in their group. Cool people. You know what I'm saying? Very, 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 very cool. You know what I'm saying? I just have to say this, man. It seemed like you had a build instead of a brawl. You know what I'm saying? That was pretty wild. But that's how it goes down sometime on one of the most wildest places on the internet, Paradigm Shift TV 314, and that's how it happens. So I have to say this though, son. Your main mission and objective is spreading truth and enlightenment. But what is it that people misconceive when it comes down to you the most that irritates you personally with your walk with I, if you don't mind me asking?
Nothing irritates myself. My job is just to deliver the message. I believe that the irritation is within them. When you have been taught something and think something for so long, I liken it to this, and I haven't used this analogy in so long. It's crazy. But when you're driving down the highway doing 100 miles an hour, and then you throw that thing in the park, what's going to happen to that car?
It's going to fling forward. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Spin out.
Yeah.
It's going to, you know what I mean? Because now you or put it in reverse. So now it's just spinning. And that's what happens. Because right now, when myself is speaking, it's causing conflict within them. But that's the purpose of it. But don't look at the man, deal with what the man has said. The reason why the young lady says she don't want me using the Bible is because I'm not showing what they're showing in the Bible. So now, if I'm not showing what you're showing in the Bible, show me where I'm wrong at. And, I'm saying this in this manner because it came to my head. Just like the Creator says, when the truth comes, Satan will go. Not one has come up. because today is dealing with what has been said. And like I said, they have to understand something. If you're going to tell me, and I never got into religion. My mother was a Christian. Then before she passed, she started studying Islam. And then I'll never forget my youngest daughter. And my mother believed in I too. On her bed in the hospital, my baby was there, and she told my daughter, she said, look outside. She said, I don't know if it was the sun or something. And she said, I did that. That right there, brother. She knew her son, who was not a bad boy, but I was heavy in the streets, doing things, hurting people, because I was putting substance out there in large quantities.
Oh man, he was a pusher man in the streets.
Yeah.
I saw it.
I'm known.
What they used to call you back in the day?
D.
Oh man.
Call me D. But I'm known for, and I don't live in an area where it's big, but you know who the players are. You know what I mean? But I was a low-key player, but I was getting it.
I feel you was hustling.
Yeah,
you was riding around and getting it.
I was getting it. So when my life changed, a lot of people was like, did he go crazy? How do you give up all this? My life was like a TV show. Minks, furs, gator boots, Versace suits, diamonds, necklaces, Lexus, BMWs, you name it. I had it. This is back in the 90s. And I gave all of that up. Never got caught. I had a young lady come to me, and she told me, I used to work with her. I kept a job, but I hustled too. And the young lady said that you're number 2 on the list to get. Her uncle was a sheriff or somebody high up in the police department. So she was like, she let me know. She said, you're next on that list. And that's not why I changed. The change just came. Because when you're getting money fast like that, and you're driving fast cars and everybody see what you got and they don't have it, and you're not in a huge place like New York or, but I ran in Philly, I ran DC. I didn't run them. I'm just saying that's where I hung at.
That's where you was around.
Right. But wherever I went, you could tell the way my cars looked, how I dressed, what I had. You knew it. And what I had in my pockets. And I gave it up. I gave it all up.
Man.
Because I seen death coming.
And
that's all to I. That's my point. Only I could have changed myself. See, I see the way the people are going. They're going down, like it says, like sheep led astray, but they're just falling off the earth. And I was blessed to be pulled out of that line of death and turned around and shown the right way to go. It's not that way. It's behind you. You have to turn around and come out of what you're into and what you continue to go through. So when myself talks, I don't hate Jesus. I love Jesus. I just hate how they misrepresent him. So if you notice, when I speak of Jesus, I'm just pointing out factors to show that he's not the Christ. You got to be honest. And they put him in there and they made the word Antichrist because they wanted you to think that one coming after him would be the Antichrist, when the whole time no one thought he could be the Antichrist. Not that he did it, it's that's how they made him. Like I said, he was before his time. You can't come to do something when it's not time to do it. And I go back to that statement. When those demons said, "Son of man, why do you persecute us before time?" You got to ask yourself, how does a demon, a devil, or a demonic spirit know it's not time? But you don't. There's an issue there. There's an issue. It's because you're out of time. You're out of season. And I'm telling you now that I is here now.
So let me ask you. You said I,
the creator, not myself.
No. I understand. And I am a little concerned, right? Does I have a vessel?
I doesn't have a vessel. Do I use vessels? Yes. Let me explain. I'm going to explain something. I'm privy to a lot of stuff. And it's a lot of stuff that, as I've been walking, I understand. If you go to the very beginning of Genesis, it says that the earth was without form and void. Okay. What that's talking about is at that time, who myself teaches of as O, and I'll break that down after this, teaches of as O, you may call Satan, Shaitan, evil. Okay. That's without form. That's voided, because that one has been voided from the creator, from I, and can never go back due to that disrespect. So I gave O, and this is where you get the matrix from. You see the ones, the zeros, the ones, the zeros, the ones, the zeros, like that. Code, binary numbers. They're called binary numbers. Well, the ones are I's and the O's are Shaitan. Theo. Theo means the O. That's who their God is. The O. And that's what they're studying, theology. All of these words have meanings. So when that one was sent here, because it had no body, it could go in and out of everything and make it do what it wanted to do. It's a mind shifter, shapeshifter, and it can change the mind. We get it today where you'll be chilling and you'll get this crazy thought in your head, and it's up to you to control that thought.
So with O, it's a being.
It's a spirit.
Okay, so it
was once an angel. It was once an angel that was next to I. That's who they call Satan, the devil. It's really O. This is why all through your Bible you see, "Oh God, oh Lord, oh people, oh ye people." This is what that O means. It's not OH. It's not a sound of expression. I'll make this real simple for you. The first thing when you greet someone, I'm going to tell you, you use the language. You say what?
Hello?
Right. HELL space O. Hell is O.
Okay.
Now,
so wait, hold on. Wait. So wait. So are you trying to say that O is like
O is the adversary?
So it's an adversary.
It's the adversary of I. Okay. I made O. O comes out of I.
Okay.
All right. This is why O had only a time. This is why your clocks, when I say 12, what o'clock?
12 o'clock.
It's O's clock. O only has a time to be here, 6,000 years. After that 6,000 years, O must be removed off the scene. So now what we're getting is O's been removed for the most part, but we got to get it out of us. So what I did is I created us in the image and the likeness of I. So when I found that O, which lived within I, was bad, it forced it out to the earth, giving O the chance to try to destroy the earth. Okay.
So you kind of wait. I'm trying to. So let me ask you this. This is where I'm kind of like. Okay. So this is the thing. So let me ask you this, because this is how my brain think. I'm trying to like compute right now.
No
You
problem.
just hit me with a haymaker. So let me ask you: is every word with O a negative reference to the O God?
I can't say every word, but if you look at the word omen, omega, so it's saying
obliterate.
So it's out there. I mean, I never looked to search it that way, but that's a concept.
Okay, so all right, wait. Okay, so let's see. You got me right there. You hit me with the switch.
But you're
brother.
thinking, and that's the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
It's right. It's a puzzle, and you have to put the puzzle of your life together.
Right. Okay, so how? Okay, so basically, the words with O that are in a negative reference are in reference to the destruction of the O spirit. And that spirit, and correct me if I'm wrong, that spirit basically goes, it doesn't have one single host. It goes throughout everyone's negativity and uses that, and it just comes up and make you feel like, yo, hey, I want to kill a person randomly. It's that type of stuff.
Well, you can do that, but you have to understand that O is the main God. And then all of these, what they call fallen angels, they're the other gods.
Right.
Because they're many hosts. And they go in and out. It's not just one, that's the main one. But back to what I was saying, so we don't get confused. When that one came, it says the earth was without void, and the spirit was placed upon the face of the waters. So when O came, the spirit came at the same time. Now that spirit and that waters that they're referring to was the Jordan River, but it never said that.
Right.
But this is why Jesus went there. Because through the scriptures, they knew where the spirit was.
Okay. All right. So,
but if you go there now, as an article after, I think it was 89, 90, it began to dry up. Which, when you know spirituality, if that river dried up, but they replenished it, but if that river was drying up, that means that spirit is out of that river now and is placed in the body that was made for. That's the seed is just the body. The promised seed that comes from Abraham in the story through Esau, through the line. It's just, this is how perfect this story is. It's just the body. Now that body has to go to that river. It has no control over it. It doesn't know, that individual don't know who they are. They're just walking because they're in alignment with that. Now they'll break away and live life, but then have to come back. That's why at one point in time, you didn't know about Jesus from 12 to 30 or however old he was, because he had to go through life first. This is the same thing. Once that spirit entered that body, it still had to grow and that person had to live. That's why it says you got to be wise as a snake first. You got to know what you're dealing with, so that when you come across that type of person, you've been that person, so you can recognize a devil. You can recognize a Satan because you was one. Now your job is to come out of that. They say the wages of death is sin. Well, I'm not buying any more of it. I want to be bankrupt from it. That's my goal. That's my purpose, to be bankrupt from sin. Once you're bankrupt from sin and you live in the true light, brother, it's endless. Endless.
So it's endless. So, okay, you know what? You're dangerous, I son, because you make a person think. You know what I'm saying?
All praises due to I, just the vessel, brother.
Boy, you be spitting, what? You be spitting. You'll take a person
just being used, brother.
Yeah,
just being used,
and I'm just
in a good way. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
If you could be a shepherd for Satan, the devil, and why not be a shepherd for I?
Why not be? Okay. Whew. Whew. Hey, I just gotta say this though.
That spirit right there, you hear me? You see what just happened to you?
It's something.
Did you see what just happened?
Yeah.
That is I.
So wait. So check this out. This is another thing. I've noticed this. Okay, so a lot of people, they feel, not only do we know you are very charismatic, right? But they feel, and this is just how some of the Christians feel, right? That you're here to deceive. But how do you feel?
Check this
of
out.
Them saying that.
Didn't they say that about Jesus?
Yeah.
I'm in good company then.
So they what they did, they got Jesus, they threw him, they locked him up and everything. You know what I'm saying? He did miracles. He did miracles and stuff like that. So
go ask your question, because that's what you want. I can see it.
Yeah, it's a lot of things I want, bro. It's a lot of things I want right now, bro. It's a lot of things I want, son. It's a lot of things. It's a lot of things. I'm struggling right now. I'm struggling deep down. I'm struggling.
You're all right, brother.
So they call Jesus a sorcerer. He was the son of God. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is this, right? The miracle, right, of him doing certain things, like turning,
order the
water
wine
and all of that, right? I'm not trying to compare you to Jesus, but how would you compare I to those miracles of what he did?
Well, how would I compare I to the miracles?
Yes, sir.
I is the miracle giver.
Okay.
So you don't compare I to the miracles. Now, Jesus, again, like I said, they misrepresented Jesus. Jesus knew the lingo of I. When he has the 7 eyes that he speaks of in the Bible, I am the truth, I am the way, I am the light. That's I.
Oh.
He's talking about I. When he says the Father and I are one, he's not talking about himself as the I. That's I. So the Father lives, I lives in the Father fully. The Father is a brother to the people. So when they talk about this Trinity, the Father is a man, but he's the first raised from the spiritually dead, not physically dead, mentally dead. Then he's also their brother. And he also housed the spirit within him in fullness, though, because that body is sacred. That body's for a purpose. It's a gift to the people. So when this one comes, he's what is called a vicegerent. He takes the place of one, but he doesn't take the place of I. He stands in place for I.
So Okay. You know what? I see why most motherfuckers can't fuck with you. Excuse my language for that. I see why. They have
Not
a hard they have a hard time with you.
the spirit, brother.
I
Just
see
the
why.
vessel.
You went on Sarnetta. Everybody was losing their damn minds. Hebrews, Comedics, they was going left field. I saw a little bit of that. And you remember Ratchet Craig? Remember Ratchet?
Mm-hmm.
Ratchet said, he told me this. He said, Classic, you know you're my bro. I used to battle I Son all the time. But he got that shit so down packed, I can't touch him no more.
All praises due to I, just the
And
vessel.
he said, I'm not going to touch him. So that's why you haven't seen him pop up lately, right?
Oh, Ratchet's my man.
Yeah.
He knows that. That's
Shout out to Ratchet. But
Shout out to Ratchet. That's my man. He's funny. He's a funny guy.
Yeah, he's a wild one. He's a wild one.
But he's real. One thing I say about him, he's real.
He's real.
He's real to who he is what I mean.
Yeah, real ratchet.
That's
real ratchet. There's a saying. We had a saying called double R for really ratchet. You know what I'm saying? rated really ratchet. You know what I'm saying? You know, I have to say this, man. I'm these breakdowns. Now, okay, so I have two more things to ask you, and then we're gonna get out of here because I'm gonna be up for some hours thinking of these things. I just want you to know that. So here's the thing. So the comedics, you said it be to, when you're doing your your rebuttal to BK, you basically stated that a lot of things like the 13 commandments was taken from Mod, right? And
10 commandments.
The 10 commandments, my bad. Mm-hmm. So how did I guide you to that? How did you find that information?
I study. It's just not given to me. You have to study. Your eye guides my steps. I'll tell you one thing about I that I love. I's a jokester. Plays jokes with. Has me laughing because something that could have been resolved early will send me around the mulberry bush to find the answer. And then I get the answer. I was right there. But in the process, I learned something. So I understood it, why it was done. That's why when we talked the other day and you said, brother, something came up, I can't do it Friday. Then immediately it's not I's timing then. We do it today. So what we're doing today would not have been accomplished like it's being accomplished today. Because Friday, it would have been more hustle bustle. Right now, even kill.
Okay. So, ironic when, because Cosmon came on, he bigged you up. He wouldn't have came.
We bigged each other up.
Okay.
To the spirit.
Okay. All right. So, and I could see the whole mono synchronicity right there, right? So, so you guys were in sync with that, basically,
right? With the fact of we both are in total congruency with the fact that these guides are not who you think they are. Even in my presentation, I'm hoping someone understood what was being said. You cannot capitalize God without a name. When you use titles, you write doctor, you write it lowercase, DOCTOR. But if you're talking about a doctor, you capitalize it, Dr. such and such. Because there's something emphasizing what it's speaking of. Just a doctor can be any doctor. That's why gods are just any gods until you put a name on it. Now, in this case, Yahweh was always a tetragrammaton. It was never supposed to be said. It was just YHWH. When I first went on my understanding how I taught myself, I learned about Elohim. El, God, O, the fallen one, him. It's right there in front of you. Then it brings me to Jehovah, another God. Then I learned about YHWH. And I thought that was weird because you can't say it. It's like LBGTQ. You can't say it. You'll hear these guys get on here and say, well, no, you got to pronounce it like this. Well, the vowels, so-called vowels, the dots that they use as vowels, this stuff comes thousands of years later. Thousands of years later. So that wasn't there. So now they created that so they can say the word. But in actuality, that's blasphemy. Because it was said that they were never supposed to say that name. So all of these are gods. And the way the system worked is one god would gain power, and then it'll lose power, and then another god would come. Now, Yahweh came in and used Jacob, and then Jacob's name became Israel, and then they carried that banter for Yahweh. But if you notice today, after Jesus, there's never been another prophet. They had a proliferation of prophets all this time. Where's the prophets at? Where they at? They had kings. Well, proxy kings, because they weren't kings. They wanted to be like Egypt again. So then when Saul, I think it was Saul, or whoever was before Saul, asked Yahweh, their creator, can we have gods? Kings. So then they went into the king's side of it. But now you don't see any more kings after David and them. I think David may have been the last king. It may be more. I really don't study him to that degree, but he's the last known one.
He's the most popular. He was the most popular.
Right. Jesus was never a king. They put that over top of his cross when he's dying. INRI. So when was he ever a king? All of this is fabricated. And when you begin to use real logic, because I've always talked to Christians in Hebrews, no, you don't apply logic. They call that pseudo. That's because you can't think for yourself. I'm not going to let anyone tell me how to think. What I see, what I read, that's what it is. Study it.
Okay.
It's all about comprehension.
Comprehension. I got it. So, all right. So check this out. Before I move on to the last question, you know what I'm saying? You know, we got to do something with certain individuals to have a collab with you. And, the Creator Gang, aka the Waspies. I call them the Waspy niggas. That's just me, because they like a gang to me. You know what I'm saying?
We got to do more than anything.
What's
we
that?
got to change our language.
You said change our language?
Right. Our language constitutes energy.
Mm-hmm.
So when we use words like you just used, and I'm not saying I'm never not guilty of saying it, but you have to be conscious, and you have to start taking negative words out of you.
Okay. All right.
You know what I mean? I'm just I'm just sharing something with you, because these are triggers for that spirit to come in. Watch when you have a show and someone starts cursing or doing something, all of a sudden it'll go off the Richter scale, because you've invited that energy when this is supposed to be all about peace. So when me and the Waspy brothers spoke, it was peaceful.
More peaceful.
Even when DMG thought in the beginning, DMG thought, and then the brother was like, no. That was already done. It was already done. When you walking with the truth is going to be with you.
Okay. Well, okay. So check this out. One thing I do say, and this is the question I wanted to ask too, right? Because a lot of people, they have their own truths, right? Like if you know Ratchet and me, we don't like the word truth because people warp it. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
They'll say, "This is my truth," and I'll be like, "Man, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that at all because it's just horrible." So when people come and try to say that they are the truth to you, right? And the truth is like, 'cause we talked about this feral nature that people have, this frenzy, right? How do you feel and react to them when they think they're going manic over their truth that they think is the truth?
Well, 9 times out of 10, you're 100% right. They go manic because they're trying to prove something, and their what's the word I'm looking for? Their spirit, it starts to come out. I believe we talked about that when we talked the other day. You was like, I remember one time you was talking to someone, and I always said, see, it's coming out of them because it's embedded in them. So truth recognize, I say real recognize real, truth recognize truth. Truth is not going to let falsehood or the lie continue anymore. We got to get over these lies. I mean, when you look at in Christianity, it surprises me to this day. Christmas, Easter, all of these so-called holidays, pagan holidays, we give them to our children, then our children's children. When are we going to stop perpetuating these lies? We know they're pagan holidays, but they can't get from underneath them. What do they do? What is they say the biggest thing for Christmas sales is alcohol. I drank alcohol. I had DUIs with alcohol because when you're not in the right frame, it can consume you and take over you. You can't let these things be your gods. They're gods. That's why they call them spirits. It changes. And if it doesn't change you, it does something inside you that you don't see. This is what you need. Drink some water. Green juice, stuff like that to take care of this body. Because at the end of the day, when this temple goes back, you're finished. I'm here. My purpose is to be here for a very long time. Longer than you can imagine. Because it's possible. You know how I know? Because it's been done. How low was Methuselah? How low was Abraham? I'm sorry, how low was Adam? How low was Noah? These guys lived 6, 7, 8, 900 years old. But you tell me you believe the Bible? But you can't live past 70 years old? You dying at 60, 50? Then you don't believe what you really read then. You don't believe it. I believe the truth. And if I see something that tells me that this was possible, then why shouldn't it be possible for myself? Especially if I know the day, the time, and the age. The one thing I would love to do one day is show you the calendar. And it shows you every prophet, major prophet, that was in that 1,000-year millennium. Muhammad is the last of the prophets. And then there's one that comes after him. He is what is called a master prophet. He's called the Mahdi in Islam, or the Mahdi. So everyone back, every millennium, there's a major prophet. Christians don't want you to believe in Islam. Islam only means to do the submission of the will. It also means eyes, lamb. That's what it spells. But we're all humans. We're all going to be a collective group under one. This is why the LGBTQ took the rainbow. The rainbow is actually a picture of the world under one humanity. Hue, man. H-U-E, meaning colors, hues, and then man. This is when we become human. We're not human yet. We're still in an animalistic state of mind. So when all of these colors come together from eye to see the world, it looks like one great big majestic rainbow because all of the different colors of the family are getting along.
Okay. Whew. Man, I be needing. Usually I'll be dropping the bombs and stuff, but you know, you're really going deep with this one.
We're good.
I mean, you're going there. But let me ask you this, and I know I said we were finna get out of here.
Nah, bro. Hey, listen, this is my life.
I feel
So
you.
you fine.
I feel you. So one last question. The nature of those occupied and oppressed by O. Please break that down to me.
Oh, how can I say this? Oh is the fallen spirit that was jealous of us. I believe this is in probably the Quran or another book I could have read that made sense. It made sense to myself. And I'll explain what I mean. So when O fell in the Bible, they show it as Satan going to Eve, which they call a snake. I'm going to tell you who the snake is and who the people are. What type of eyes does a snake have?
They have those little split eyes. They have splits in their eyes.
Right. Whose eyes are shaped like that in the world today?
Asians?
Exactly. Now, in the beginning of the Bible, where is the fire cherubim set at the what gate? The far east gate. Who lives in the far east?
Asians?
Exactly. So this true story is the Asian man was the first one that O went to. Who are the most prosperous people on this earth and have more people on the earth than anybody?
Asians.
The Asians. They still have their what? Dynasties.
Yeah.
They never were lost. The Asian man never lost himself, always knows who they are. The Caucasian man didn't know themselves because they're newly created. And the black man was lost. It came through the Asian. This is there in the background. While the black and the white is fighting, it's a book called Macbeth, and it talks about it. While the black and white fighting, something's in the background basically hiding. If you go look at the colors, black means evil. White means pure. Guess what Asian means? Yellow means.
What does that mean?
Spirit. So they're playing the position of a spirit. Do you see them when you go out in your communities? No. It's like they're not even here. But if you go to your neighborhood and your stores, you'll see them all day.
They do be taxing water in the stores, but you're not supposed to tax water at all.
It's all commerce. So that's where the spirit went first, because the yellow man was inferior to the black man. Our stature, our build, everything about us. or strength. Yellow also is another word for weak. So they use the Caucasian man, Cauc, which is a covering, and then Asian, Caucasian. That's why they have a relationship with the Caucasian, because they created them. They come from us, but they created them. So when you're talking about O has been given carte blanche to destroy whomever it wants to destroy. But never forget what it said to Job. What was said to Job? It said you can do anything you want to him. The only thing you can't do is kill him. He said, but if you remove the hedge from his head, I'll make him curse you to the face. That one won't curse the creator. That one don't curse I. That one don't go back. Because that one knows that that one is protected as long as that one does what it's supposed to. So there's never a reason to leave when you're in protection. And nothing can defeat I. So right now, if you're not getting it, then you're outside of it. And if you're outside of it, you're not protected by it. And as they say, you're going to see better than I can tell you. Because it's coming. It's coming.
You know, you're dangerous, I son.
Not dangerous at all, brother. Peaceful.
Hey, Martin Luther King was dangerous and he was very peaceful.
Peaceful, man. Very peaceful. Well, I believe that's what I think the brother BK was trying to say earlier, but he kind of said it in the wrong way. And I don't think that I'm charismatic. I think I'm passionate. I know I'm passionate. I don't think it. I know there's a fire within myself. And I know that I'm as gentle as a dove, but I ain't to be messed with at the same time either. I don't go looking for nothing. I don't go looking for anything. If you get upset about what I'm saying, then you're mad at yourself, because words should never get you to that point unless they have a point. And that's when you have an issue, but your issue was never with the person that said it. The issue has always been residing in you, and those words are pulling it out of you. And you don't want to face it. You don't want to deal with it. So now you're incarcerated within yourself, and that's the worst thing you can be. Be in jail with your own lies in your own disguise. It's ugly when you got to look at yourself.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, that is true. It is ugly when you got to look at yourself.
If you're not right.
Yeah, exactly.
I look at myself, I just see the light, brother. Just see the light, and it just gets brighter and brighter.
So, okay, you know what? You and I, we gotta have to rap some more, right? But there's some people you gotta meet. You gotta meet King Hercules, you know, the brother King Herc. Shout out to King Hercules, by the way. Shout out to the brother. You know what I'm saying? Even though he said, yes, Hercules is black. King Hercules is a wild one, right? He believes in black mathematics. Or is it called
mathematics? I don't know what black mathematics is, but I'm with mathematics. Did you get what I said to you earlier about the 1 + 1 + 1 = 1?
Well, you kind of got me a little bit. I was lost. Just explain that.
Yeah, this is the majesty. I'm saying it right. Of I. When when let me say it this way. When I married Hagar, so we get this clear, they were married. A lot of them would try to say, well, no, he never married Hagar. She was the second wife. So when he brought forth Ishmael, they called Ishmael the son of flesh. This is what they say. Okay? This is Christianity and Hebrew Israelites. They say Ishmael was a child of flesh.
Mhm.
Then they say that Isaac is the promised seed. So if the creator has a seed from a man, then there needs to be a fleshly body of a female, right?
So wait.
Follow me?
No. I hear you. The fleshy body of a female.
Okay.
I got
There needs to be a fleshly body. If Abraham is given a seed and that seed goes to Isaac, then there needs to be a heavenly hosted body for that seed. So the promise was only to Abraham, right?
Mhm.
So if the promise was to Abraham and Abraham has a son named Ishmael, who they called the flesh, then his flesh would be the one that would receive the seed, the other part of Abraham. So this is the only time Abraham is made whole again, because Ishmael and Isaac's seeds meet. Both of their seeds come from Abraham. So it came here and then it went to here. Now it's one again. It's one seed. It's connected. And from this shoot, it goes forward. And through that bloodline is where the body will come from. Because now in the waters, there's another spirit that's like a seed. So it's not a physical birth again. It's a spiritual birth. So that seed, oil and water doesn't mix. So that spirit is considered oil, which is another word for wisdom, sageness. So when that oil goes into that body, that man encapsulates that spirit that was there 6,000 years ago. He can't do it. It's all done. This is why he's the gift to the world.
You know what? Yeah, I son, hey brother, you is. I'm sorry, boy. I'm using English wrong. You are the irrefutable one. You are the
Praises due
irrefutable.
to I, always, all days.
You are. But check this out. We've been on. It's been close for. I see you got it. You got the infinite energy. You can keep going, brother. I can see it,
spirit, brother.
I can see it. You ain't even tired, bro. You ain't even tired. You making me old, man. I ain't gonna lie. When you still looking young, it's wild.
When you love it, you love it. Yeah, I'll be 60 next year, brother.
Oh yeah, man. Hey,
I ain't no youngin'.
Hey, black don't crack, man. Black don't crack.
But you gotta eat right, live right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just need to get back in the gym. That's my problem. I'm in my gym right now, but I don't use it. I need to use it.
I know. Yeah, it's the same. I gotta get back in the gym too. My trainer was telling me. He said I done became a little bird chest. He said He told me I gotta get back strong and right. But
gotta work them muscles.
Yes, sir. But I just have to say this though. It's always a pleasure having you around. We got some things for you. We're gonna have some people actually give you the conversation. Will be like you and them. You know,
yes.
I got some things popping for you. And again, apologies for the mess-ups and the hiccups and stuff like that. You know,
like I said, whenever I says it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen.
Yes,
we are vessels walking through the light, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes,
trying to get them out the darkness and bring them in the light.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I gotta say this, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please check out King Hercules show on dark mathematics. You know what I'm saying? I mean, black mathematics. I'm sorry. Check it out. You know, it's very interesting. I'm gonna send it to you, I son. You know what I'm saying? Since you deal with that also. You know what I'm saying? So I just got to give a shout out to the Secretary Sage, always being there to support. Shout out to Michelle Turner. Shout out to King Hercules, of course. Shout out to Anon. Shout out to the whole crowd. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, just know Debate Mania is here. And not only that, we have Hemi and KOT getting ready to have their face off. What will they be debating about? Who knows? We're going to find it out. But I just have to say this, though. I, son, will return. What Christian, what Bible believer, what Muslim will be brave enough to have the conversation with the irrefutable one? But I'm Classic Craig, your host, but not so much the most, in the closet. That was I, son, the irrefutable. And he will return, and I will be back. Till then, peace, family. We out of here.
Peace and blessings.
Later. And good night.
On October 3rd through October 5th, the entire debate world comes together for 3 nights, 1 platform, 1 spectacle. This is not just another debate event. This is the grandest stage of them all. Debate Mania is the premier event in the debate community, the Super Bowl of intellect, the WrestleMania of words. The brightest minds, the fiercest rivalries, the biggest stakes. Here, champions are made, legacies are written, and only the sharpest minds survive. Debate Mania is the grandest stage of intellect. 2 voices, 2 visions, 1 destiny. For generations, the fight for black liberation has taken many forms. But at Debate Mania, the battle is not fought with fists. It is fought with ideas. In one corner, the pseudo-Hunter Heru conscious, a fearless atheist, a relentless skeptic. He believes Pan-Africanism is an outdated ideology. And at Debate Mania, she plans to prove it. But standing in his way is the champion, the defender of the people, the voice of pride, power, and Pan-African unity. Super Pan Man, the Pan-African atheist. 2 giants of thought, 2 unstoppable forces, 1 collision that will shake the foundations of the Versus series. This is more than a debate. This is the main event. This is Debate Mania, only on Paradigm Shift TV 314. Be there for this historic 3-night event.